Rawr.
And welcome back to City Skylines. Another relaxing Friday evening here, although we have some problems. We got some missing water, we got a lot of people complaining about garbage. It's nighttime, there's a criminal on the loose, and really this south side of the river is turning into kind of junk town here. Maybe we'll keep this to kind of like lower end of town, and the north end of the river will be all fancy. It's only time will tell. So let's get into it. Let's pause real quick here and take a look at what the complaints are. So tons of garbage issues and one crim on the loose here. So we actually don't have a dump, do we? We do have a dump. Operating normally. Okay. Okay. So this is where things become a bit of a problem. So we have a dump, and it's in the industrial part of the city, which means the garbage truck comes down this road, going to go pick up the garbage. Oh no, I actually can't get to the real part of town from here. I have to take the one-way roundabout onto the highway, and then go onto the highway here, in one direction or another, find a junction somewhere, come all the way back down. So this is where we need to make some creative roadworks. So the reason it has to be creative, and the thing I'm worried about, is that if I just make a connection, say from here over to here, connecting the two ends of the city together, I run the risk of having heavy industrial traffic and heavy residential traffic coming through like a main thoroughfare in town versus taking the roundabout. So I either need to connect the roundabout at this position here, or I need to live with the fact that there's going to be extra traffic. So since we have traffic pause and we have some money to play with, let's see if we can't get this to work. Okay. So if I demolish these two, can I do a one-way road connecting? Yes. Okay. Now I need to go back to curved, here, straight. Okay, so maybe by roundabout, we're going to mean some kind of octagonal nightmare. Slope too steep. Okay. Slope too steep. There's no slope too steep. Let's do this. Oh, I see. Slope too steep. Huh. Well, ain't that a problem? So these two highways aren't actually... How do I... These two highways are not actually level with each other, which is what's creating the problem. So if I go to highway, which I can't build yet because it's not unlocked. Crap. Okay. So, how are we going to do this? Okay, so you can connect there, that's fine. You can connect here, that's fine. And it's connecting these two together, that's not fine. So what if we do a real wonky, no. And these two cannot. And distance too short. Because I don't own... Okay, what if I bought... It seems kind of wasteful to buy that whole section of land just to try to make this roundabout work. Okay, let's go back to the rose tool. Let's go back here. So what I want to do is find a way to connect this to this without being an issue here. So, options are an intersection, which really defeats the purpose of this. Okay. So it's not pretty. It's not really a roundabout anymore. But it seems to work. Let's see how well or how badly it works. Rezone. Stuff I blew up. So now we can get all the garbage trucks through. We can get our police through. It's not super efficient, but I think it's all ready to expand, and if we decide to buy this tract of land, that it'll work. When we do this, we're going to make this a lot nicer. So now, why do we still have garbage rolls, guys? There should be garbage trucks all over this business. Okay, there we go. It's starting to pop now. Okay, yeah, there we go. Our garbage truck goes by, it clears out. Great. Okay, that problem is solved. We're still making money. Things are going okay. Got some commercial demand. So maybe we'll continue our Riviera-esque commercial district here. Boom. Piping will probably be a good idea. And eventually, we're going to be able to connect up here with electricity. We're not going to have this problem anymore. Oh yeah, this is the other issue. No water. Here's your water. Okay. Commercial. We have plenty of residential zones. We got some new commercial. It's getting power-ish. Are we just running out of juice now? Is that the problem? Oh, nutty. Okay. So we're going to put another one of these in. Let's lower this land value even further. Take that criminal. We're going to have to listen to the whirring of some kind of giant turbine that's being powered by the heat of these fires. Do we have fire coverage? We have lots of fire coverage. I mean, it's in the wrong part of the city, so we can afford it. So I'm going to add an industrial fire department. But now we don't have enough power again. This is a lot less than ideal. And we need to put police in place soon to deal with all the crime. Farmer's Cove is not turning into a Farmer's Cove. It's turning to some kind of fresh hellscape. Alright. Crime is becoming a major issue in the city. Cannot afford a police department at this time. 12 grand. We'll get it in a couple hours. Okay. Okay, so that's fine. So we have some more demand for commercial. We don't really have a power to support it. So I'm going to hold off a little bit here. Low happiness. You know what? They deserve to be unhappy. This is the shitty part of town. More fires. Oh no. Crime rate is high. There's no schools. Come on, look, you can develop it here. No one wants to live in this part of town. They're like, oh my god, we have this horrible roundabout. There's nothing here. There's crime everywhere. This is literally the worst. Boom. PD, son. Get ready to get wrecked by the police. It's happening. New service. Unlocked service. No. I'm not going to get into these just yet. Okay. Get some money together again. All these guys have no juice. Not enough electricity. So, I mean, we could theoretically take out a gigantic loan, spend all of our money, and make, like, a dam. Actually, we can't. I don't think we've unlocked dams. No, we have not. So what we need is about 20 grand to make a coal-fired power plant, which will solve our electrical woes, because this wind turbine green energy stuff is just not cutting it at all. Let's see, budget tab, loans, Silver Sunset Bank, 20 grand, 5%, weekly cost, yes. May grow to regret that, but for right now, can't grow our city without sweet, sweet electricity. It's funnier in my head. Okay, we have more power, but now we have a sewage problem. Never ending. Never ending. Water. Outflow pipe. No, sewage treatment's maxed. It should be fine. Oh, it's the piping. Oops. Let's just connect that pipe to the poo pipe, and that should solve any of those problems. Alright, so now we got electricity coming out of our butts. Oh, Boomtown. Achievement unlocked. Excellent. Okay, so we have electricity coming out of our butts. We have police around. We have fire department now. What are we missing? We're missing a school, right? Oh, no, we have a school. It's not quite good. So maybe we'll look at building a second school for our little town here. Well, we have tons of cash thanks to that sweet loan. Our hourly took a bit of a hit. So yeah, we'll throw a second school into play here. Where do we want to put it, though? This guy kind of serves this whole region. Actually, no. We'll put one down here. And it brings our capacity up. And a high school is the next step. So maybe we'll do a high school kind of enclave inside here, like in this kind of L. So we'll bring a road. Ooh, I don't want curved, I want straight roads. Bring a road here. Knock down this poor guy's house. And... oh no, there's a road behind us. Now, you're a business, you don't care about roads. For what you're selling, you don't need roads. And then... Bamza, high school achieved. So now we can have Marty and Biff here. Maybe take the DeLorean up to 88 going down this stretch of road. Not quite long enough. They'll end up in the water or they'll fly. But yeah. Add water. Actually, it's probably a good idea to get a pipe going this whole way. There we go. And how are we doing for water? Getting a little bit low. Might need a second water tower or it's a straight up pumping station. Probably put that down here upriver from our like poo pipe. It's down here. Let's see, it suddenly has no power because we probably cut off the power grid. Yep. My high school building antics. There we go. Okay, so our hourly rate is just brutal. We are just getting spanked. That's fine though, because we now have some infrastructure that gives people a reason to actually want to live in this godforsaken hole. Now I'm going to build a different road here because I want to cut off the industrial from everything else. So it's not super pretty, but we'll keep the industrial off this side of this stretch here to the left. And that maintains the roundabout and it maintains traffic flow until that roundabout gets overwhelmed because of this stupid little V arrow pointing stuff because it's not flat. Okay. Alright, so we want some... now we have power, we can get some more commercial going here. So let's finish this stretch off. Sweet commercial ventures. We're needing some water. We're going to take this opportunity to build a pumping station. Might bankrupt us, we're about to find out. We're just going to go, hey, let's add this pipe to this pipe. And then bam. Now we shouldn't have a water problem. These are getting just the freshest water. Okay, there we go. Alright. Now, how do we want to design the inside of this? So around the high school, I guess not really primo territory. I guess part of it's pretty primo territory because it's near the water. So add a dividing road here. Boom. And the reason we're going to do that... what's that? Can't win. We're going to reconnect here to the industrial zone. And we're going to get rid of this hot garbage. Didn't mean to destroy that road. We can fix that. Okay. So, we'll have this be kind of like primo, low-density residential. We put some parks in there. And this is going to be like just apartment block city. It's going to be terrible traffic. It's going to be kind of noisy, kind of smelly. Not great, but it's going to give us the workers that we need for our industrial zone here, and then the good commercial and good residential will keep on the north end of the river. I'm going to see if I can prevent making like some kind of giant ugly bridge contraptions going across. Maybe we'll play with some tunnels, get like some tunnel action going, unless I can do like some kind of really sweet thing that produces electricity. Dam. Unless I can make a really sweet dam, then we'll look at that as an option. Okay, so we're already hurting for workers, so what have we got in the old residential category? We don't have high density yet. We just need more bodies in this town. So, guess what? what was going to be high density residential, my big plan to make an ugly super apartment park. For now, you're going to be low density until we have enough people to convert you to high density. And you guys are going to get sick all the time and complain all the time because there's dirty industrial everywhere. But guess what? Too bad. Okay. This should help develop fairly quickly. We'll add another road here in the industrial park to add more industry. And did a decision I'm sure I won't regret later. That weird little kind of road business. There we go. So our hourly's way back up now. Our happiness is going up. We can look at some public parks here. Put a nice big park beside the high school. Because, you know, high school kids never get in trouble when they hang out in parks. Boom. Everyone's super happy now. How are we doing on the old, let's see, land value map? So blue is middle, light is bad, green is high. So it's actually doing not bad. So this is actually going to end up being a more affluent area. And then we're going to get it kind of taper as we get closer to the negative factors. Now if I pull out the wind turbine here, it'll probably actually push up the land value and help kind of rebuild this area. Interesting. So we'll see how it actually works out. But for now, it seems like we should be okay. Advisor help? No, ask for your help. Okay. Alright, how are we doing on health? We have tons of capacity, almost no one is sick. Fire hazard is acceptable, because we're not constantly on fire. Police, jail availability, pretty full. Got a lot of criminals. Crime is low now, but man, if we didn't arrest a lot of dudes. Or dudettes. Bus depot, we can't quite afford yet. We should start looking into soon. And leisure abilities, not great. Oh well. What have we got? Population's climbing. I'll have to add some here around the old high school. Got room for some more industrial. How are we doing on power before we do the industrial? Because there's nothing like building lots of industrial and then having infinite blackouts. So yeah, we're getting kind of low on power already, which is a real shame. So we can do another coal generator. And then we should have tons of power available. There we go. And now we're going to zone super industry. For all of our newly educated workers who won't want to work here because it is just hard labor. In time, we will have to find an office park. That'll probably end up here somewhere, like in the corner. Yeah, I guess we will have to do some kind of tunnel because that is one heck of a commute. Going down the highway, like all the way over and then around or somewhere down here. Like the map doesn't even have a bridge crossing for this highway as far out as we can zoom. So the exception would be, actually, yeah. So there's a rail connection. So if we could buy a bunch of land and use the rail connection. That seems like it'd be super inefficient and probably a bad idea. I'd probably stay away from that. So we could use some more commercial here. Make sure they have water. They sort of do. Now they definitely do. Cool. So you can see the roundabout is already getting just absolutely pummeled by traffic. So this might already have been a terrible, terrible idea. One of the more common kind of solutions to that problem is to make like a dedicated highway ramp access for the. Oh yeah, we got plenty of water. Oh, it's no piping. To make dedicated ramp access for the industrial zone. So the idea is that we would put some kind of, either buy this kind of section here and have on and off directly and cut it off from the rest of the town, but then also that means the inbound highway for the rest of the town is going to be super busy. I mean, this level of congestion we already have isn't great, considering we only have 4,300 people in our little hamlet here, and it's just going to keep getting worse. So maybe we will look at buying this sector, actually, to rework the highway, or I can just accept that this is going to be a polluted hellscape and get rid of all of the residential here, move everyone to the north end, and then have this just be like polluting terrible industry. Things to think about. Things to think about. In the meantime, we should start planning our utopia on the north end of the river here. And we can build highways now, finally. But it's too dark to actually see. Good, yeah, you can see here even. It'd be easier to see in the daylight. But these two roads are not even. So there's going to be a problem here in terms of trying to do another kind of roundabout solution. And we have prefab roundabouts now too, which are a bit bigger and probably work a bit better. What is this one? Large roundabout, small roundabout, highway roundabout. Busy town! Woo! Finally. We got planning policies, unique buildings, we can specialize in oil. Doesn't matter. So we have fancy roads, more highway options, hospital, full-on fire station, a new power plant, and a police headquarters. Oh man, we can build a bunch of unique stuff that we're never going to do. Maybe the London Eye. It's kind of pretty. You could put it on the river, pretend it's the Thames. We'll see. We'll see what happens. First things first. Oh man, I didn't even notice we're like raking in the money. We're like $97,000 and 4,000-ish per hour. Weekly. Oops, weekly income. I've been saying it wrong this whole time. So what we're going to do is we're going to build this roundabout right about here. We're going to demolish its prongs. And we're going to also do something else here. Because right now this is a two-way road. So we're going to upgrade it to a one-way road with trees. Because this is a fancy, fancy part of town. We cannot upgrade to this type. I think we're okay. Yeah, we're okay. We're okay. Okay, everything's fine. All right, and we're going to kick the highway connection, and this is the inbound one. So you start... Oh yeah, here's an important thing to notice with one-way roads. So you have arrows pointing inbound here and no arrows pointing outbound on that one. So you know the direction of traffic. If I were to connect from this road and build here, the problem is the traffic will be going head-on. You have to always start the road from the direction of travel and then connect it to the road you're connecting to. So this way, people get on the highway here, whoop, and you can see the arrows for turning in straight, and people get off the highway here, whoop, and they get onto this roundabout. So this is what I wanted this to look like, not this unfortunate, just disappointment, shame. The roundabout of shame. It's a good name for it. Okay. So now we gotta figure out the rest of the planning here. We'll keep time going, because things seem to be mostly under control down south, but I want to get that sweet, all that sweet money, right, so we can build this properly. So we're going to go to a higher density road with trees to act as an artery going down to the waterfront. Boom. And then we're going to have this follow the waterfront in both directions. Oops. Never right-click when you attempt to click. So this is a two-way road, not a one-way. So we'll have this one major intersection at the middle here, and these will feed. So people come in off the roundabout, coming in or out onto this main drag here. So we can have more connections to the roundabout if we need it later, but right now I want to focus on the main drag. So people coming off the highway can do a quick route back on, and to keep trying to make the roundabout wider, because that's going to make things a real pain to try to make it any kind of bigger. Oh, here we go. Cemetery needed. Okay. So we're going to put the cemetery then... Cemetery's gonna go in the old town first. And you know what? What better place for a cemetery than overlooking a heavy industrial zone? So we're gonna make this road come straight out. Bring out your dead. Bam. And this still has power because it's been developed. Great. Okay. Yeah, so now you can see the daylight a bit more here, that there is this kind of weird, uneven height problem between these two roads. It's much easier to see in the daytime. Yeah, there's a nice lovely tree, like, avenue. Like, this seems like very, like, Hilldale-ish. We've built up the side of the road, or the side of the river here, essentially accidentally. Gives us some nice flood protection if we do decide to build a dam, because it will actually affect the water height as it moves down. And you can see our nasty outflow pipe is just pouring raw sewage down to whatever poor town is down here. You can see the streak growing. Oh no. Oh no. Alright. So the other question we're going to have on this side is going to be power. So we can either run power cables across here, which might not be a bad idea to do it just straight across. And we'll keep it hidden for now until we get some kind of nicer power generation on this end. But yeah, for now we figure out how we're going to do the sweet, sweet sounds of the amazing like side to live on here. So yeah, this is not a bad... We'll see. This might end up being a terrible idea. But for right now, it strikes me as a mediocre idea at best. So how bad could it possibly go? So instead of having like lots of those conjoiny ones on weird sides that drive delivery drivers nuts, we're just going to have them all come off this trunk road and see where it goes. We'll leave a gap here, because maybe we'll put some commercial down the drag and leave us some space for like either parks or like trees or something to kill the noise down. Yeah, speaking of which, new building. Cool, no one cares. Hospital, leave me alone. Alright, so, parks. First thing we want to do is make this place primo. So put a park at the top, put a park over here somewhere. Bam. I know there's no power. It'll be okay. Electricity. Run a power tower. Boop. Doesn't look ugly at all. And then from this end, we're going to put some commercial in here. Some more commercial in here. And once this commercial develops, it'll give us electricity to this area here. We can start putting in residential. The other thing I'm going to do is add a connecting road between all of these to bring it back down. Bring it all back to you. We'll run a pipe across. Ooh, can we put a pipe across troubled water? Yes, we can. Run this back to the trunk. Back up the middle. Beautiful. Alright, and don't care about fires right now. Let's see. So this is developing. It's not great, but it is developing. So we just need this to finish pushing its way down. So we can start filling this with low density residential. Because that's what the zone is going to be, is nice just houses. Maybe eventually townhomes. Or some kind of like DC/London-esque medium density housing, but that is just way too expensive. But you know you have no other options, so you just kind of suck it up and live with the fact that you're spending $1 bajillion on a townhouse and not a real house. I guess we'll see. And there we go. The other thing we're going to add on this side is we're going to add ourselves an elementary school on the trunk road and a high school on the trunk road. Oh, maybe not on the trunk road, because maybe it won't fit on the trunk road. High school on the corner. Yeah. Nope. There. Yeah. There we go. This should help with all kinds of development and possibly bridge the power gap. Once this house builds here, everyone will have electricity. Everyone will be so happy. Now the other thing to consider is, can I make this trunk road into a channel? No, I can only make a bridge. But you know what? Oh, I don't want to do that. That's an underwater bridge. That bridge actually looks kind of rad. 19,000, eh? That's a pretty good looking bridge. That's going to handle a lot of traffic. Yes. I'm going to commit to this bridge for now. So some of you might be wondering, but you just said you're not going to build a bridge. true, but I also forgot about garbage. So otherwise, the garbage trucks have to go on the highway, go all the way around to the Tri-County area, come all the way back down, pick up the garbage, come back out, whoop, and spend their whole lives driving that track. Which means that there's going to be no garbage service up here. So either I have to build a dump on the nice end of town, which I'm not doing, or I can build a bridge, at least for now, until we get some kind of better garbage-based technology. But for now, I think we're good. So how are we doing on power? We're doing okay. We have a huge demand for industry. So we're going to cap this episode off by making a bit more industry and making some more jobs for our folks here without connecting the industry to the land of the dead there. He's got a better name for that cemetery. Alright. Industrial. We have water pipes? No, we need some water pipes. Bam! Water pipe created. Okay, so we have no power, and that's good. There's some Cosmos action going on their fake Twitter. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! That's a lot of warnings. So what do we got? We got people complaining about the noise from that. We have people complaining about sewage and houses abandoning like crazy. So sewage treatment is not that bad, but it's also not great. So we're going to solve this by adding ourselves a second outflow pipe. Boom. We just solved your sewage problems. And by solve your problems, I meant we poured them in the river and we'll let somebody else fix them. Now we're running out of power again, aren't we? Oh, it's because the abandoned houses have wrecked the power grid, meaning this guy is no longer pumping water, which has screwed our water availability. Here we go, it's coming back now. So that's one thing to watch out for. So I do have one mod installed, which is the auto bulldoze mod. Otherwise, every time a house burns down or a building burns down or people leave the city or whatever, you have to manually destroy the building. Which, as you can imagine, something this size wouldn't be too bad, but once we get to the 9 grid city, it's going to be a nightmare. Trying to find like the specific burn down one in the middle of everything else and selecting that one house and then breaking it. It becomes like a game unto itself. And by the time you think you have them all done, it's all just gone to hell and there's even more problems. So we're going to keep it like this for now. The flip side of that is it does sometimes break your power grid because the power is passed house to house in areas where you don't have power lines. So for instance, we saw here, there's nothing developed here, so there's no power being passed through it. So if I blew up these houses, this part of the city would be without power. So the auto bulldoze can kind of super betray you, and it really sucks when it does that. And now we have no demand for for residential, so it's not rebuilding. So it's okay there for now, but we need to keep an eye on it. So we want some more commercial. We'll add some more waterfront light commercial here for the high schoolers, so they can go get their Slurpees and watch the water flow. You know, who knows? Maybe find some kind of meaning in a Big Bite burger there. What is that? It's crunch time. It's crunch time for those sweet burgers. But yeah, so we have that. So I think this is where we'll end it for tonight. If you guys want to see more of this, let me know. I really enjoy playing City Skylines. I'll keep playing it kind of regardless. But if you guys want to watch me play, let me know. If not, also let me know and move on to something else. And hope you have a good weekend and have a good night. See you next time.